So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, students and citizens, welcome to the very first episode of Comrades Mic, where opinions are free but thinking is expensive. I'm your host today, Telvin Yaga, and today we kick things off with none other than current Secretary General of our campus leadership in Multimedia University. Habari yako Yassin?
Nzuri sana.
So, you can just introduce yourself, kwa wasi wakujui, waambie jina lako, what position you're currently serving in Multimedia, and what you do.
My name is Yassin Okari, alias YKO. I'm the Secretary General 2025-2026, currently a fourth-year student, pursuing a bachelor's degree in mathematics and computer science, statistics option, and also I'm a certified professional mediator.
Oh, thank you, Yassin. Alafu, people usually call you YK. Where did the name YK come from?
YK is a short form of Yassin Kefa.
Oh, so
Yeah.
the YK, because during the political time, there was a lot of YK.
Yeah.
Oh, so Yassin,
Yes.
how do you personally deal with pressure, expectation, or even self-doubt?
Sometimes when dealing with matters of pressure and self-doubt, it's really most important when you take your time and reevaluate and focus on yourself. Pressure is there, but it all depends on how you're going to handle it. Most of the time, it depends again on what kind of pressure is it. Is it external pressure, pressure within your circle, or rather yourself pressure due to some things you are supposed to do but you never did?
Oh, so pressure inakuanga tu.
Pressure iko.
Yeah. So what's the biggest non-financial struggle for youth today?
Today?
Doesn't involve anything to do with money or anything, but they really struggle for the youth.
The struggle at this moment, I think, is just advice. Yeah.
So we believe wakipata important or good advice watakuwa sawa.
Yeah, because I believe in this generation we are at this era, we youth are lacking that motive from maybe our older generation. That support, like somebody is there to tell you should be doing this and this and this. You see, in the past, you could find like a child growing in a background where at least somebody could be mentoring. But at this moment, our mentors are people from the Western, not even our parents who can tell us that do this and this and this. Yeah, so I think advice is the biggest thing that you are lacking as the youth.
In your position as the SG of Multimedia University, are there any steps you have taken to try to cope this issue of pressure? Anything like maybe talking to guys, maybe doing any drives?
As the SG, I believe this is the right time we are going to be in office. We have several programs we are trying to organize within our institution. Number one, I'd like to just to mention but a few. We have men's talk, men's dinner that we are trying to push so that it can happen within the institution. Again, we have ladies' dinner, which we are trying to push to happen in the institution. So at least that if these two things occur, we can have both men gender, the male talking about themselves, we can have the females talking about themselves and the issue within themselves and their solutions.
So there are steps that you have taken as the SG of Multimedia?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your opinion on the idea that school no longer guarantees success? Because I think you usually see in Instagram, TikTok, people are like, masomo. So what's your opinion on that and what's your take on that as YK and also as a citizen, apart from politics and also as a politician, because you're a politician, right?
Yeah, I'm a
politician. So as a politician, your opinion as a politician, also your opinion as YK, Yassin Okari.
Personally, let me talk of success. Everybody has his own path of success. Many a times, you'll find that people tend to discourage those in the educational sector that education is not paying, it cannot lead you to success. But I believe in consistency. At that moment, as an individual, how much consistent are you in terms of what you put across? Like as a concerned citizen, personally, I believe like education is the greatest success of everything in this world. With knowledge is power. So as a concerned citizen, I believe that education is success. As a leader and a comrade in multimedia, I believe again education is the way forward.
So when people usually say school no longer guarantees success, you can get in a heated debate with them.
I can, because you see, sometimes most of the people who say that school is not paying, those are the same people who are sleeping in class while academic giants were struggling. But when you find an academic giant like somebody like PLO Lumumba speaking, you will see that intellectual level. You can't compare it with somebody talking in Instagram. Yeah.
So Yasin, do you think Kenyan society gives young people enough space to fail, learn, and rise again? Our Kenyan society by itself, does it give the opportunity to youths, citizens, politicians, each and everyone, an opportunity to fail, learn, and also just realize yourself as a human being or as a person?
You know, I can talk in general of Kenya, but
Uh-huh.
let me focus on an individual basis.
Uh-huh.
You see, whatever determines a man or a lady is how many times you fail and bounce back. In this life, it's so unfortunate that you're being tested, that life has no room for you, in that when you fail, it will give you another chance. In life, you learn from your mistake. And the moment we, the youth, will accept the fact that in this life, we are here to learn.
But people may say, in our society, our Kenyan society, there's a lot of pressure. Youngins making it here, buying cars, flying their girlfriends to expensive places. So, do you think it really affects the young people when they usually see this?
It does affect very many people because at this era we are pressure. We are trying to like absorb pressure from the external. But the moment we focus on yourself as an individual, like me as Okari, I decide personally I will not buy your agenda when it comes to your lifestyle. Let me live my own lifestyle. Then I believe I'll move forward in a good manner.
Very wise, very wise. So, YK, I can just call you YK, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What's your honest take on how young people express their sexuality, identity, and beliefs today? You're in a setup of campus. You're the SG, so I'm very sure you interact with different types of people. So what's your like? What's like? How do you take it, or how do you view it when people express their sexuality in different ways? Because nowadays they say there's LGBTQ and it's long. I guess you've heard something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So how do you express? What's your view on that? On how people express their sexuality, identity, and also their beliefs today?
Personally, we are in a moral decade society at this generation. When you see in the past, let me just give a short story. In our past, you could find like children. The way I said, children are being guided. Like as an individual, you'll be growing up in your homestead where you're looking up to your father, your mom, or rather your grandparents. But today, we're in a society where technology is what you're looking for. That's why you'll find like people will express themselves in different way. Others will call themselves the so-called LGBTQ. Some will say that they have, and they will say that they have their rights. We cannot contrast with that, but all you have to say is just accept each another. Don't judge anyone. It all depends on his own background. But again, if you get that chance to educate someone on that, just educate him and tell him it's not a good thing. Yeah.
So you have no problem with them at all?
At some point,
Mm-hmm.
you'll find you have a problem, yes, but you cannot really exert your like. I cannot harm yourself because of whatever you've chose. What I can do is just to advise you in a good perspective. Like on my own opinion, I feel that this is not the good way you should be tending. Let's tend in this perspective. Because when you say like maybe in terms of LGBTQ, you cannot raise a man who claims to be another person's wife. You see, you cannot raise a girl who claims to be somebody's man. Let a man be a man. Let a woman be a woman. Let's call a spade honestly at this generation.
So you believe advice can really help
Yeah,
to
I
curb this
believe
issue?
I believe when somebody is guided in a correct perspective, then everything will change.
So what's your definition of success in early 20s? Like how do you define success?
At this era, I do define success in terms of understanding yourself. How well do you understand yourself? That is success.
Okay, to people maybe they might say success is maybe driving a big car, success is maybe just having money, maybe success is maybe being in forex. So according to you, success is just
Understanding yourself. The way you understand yourself and conduct yourself, that is success on your own way.
what's your take on the rising cost of living in Kenya? How do you think it's affecting young people, especially students? You're a secretary general in a campus, so you interact with a lot of students and a lot of comrades, right?
Yeah.
So what's your take on the high cost of living?
Honestly, this thing is a burden. It is a burden. When you talk of high cost of living, it's raising standard even in the hostel premises, in school premises. The generation that joined in 2024, it's paying an accommodation fee of 10,000. Same room, same facilities, and everything is the same. So when you talk of like the high cost of living, it's really affecting them. You can see like a difference of 6,000 in a short of 2 years. So I believe like this thing is just a burden to everybody. Nobody is an exception.
So, and to the students watching you, when there's high cost of living, fees will not be there. A lot of essential things cannot be able to be achieved because there's no money. So, to the students maybe watching you, to the comrades, to your fans, maybe who are just wondering how will they cope with such issues, what can you just tell them? Unaweza nini?
In general, let me just tell every comrade who is maybe watching me, those who are looking in what I'm saying. High cost of living is there. Then, how are we going to solve this issue? At this era, we should not be crybabies. Let's just be focusing on solutions. Maybe let hostel accommodation fees 10,000, but we have again other programs in the university that can counter that. We have the work study opportunity. If you feel the burden is heavy enough, you can enroll in those programs. Enroll in money generating programs which can give you money so that you can at least try not to counter the high cost of living but go in line with it. You see, we have very many online opportunities, honestly, and people should be going for these opportunities. When you rise up to them, then I believe tutang'ang'ana kidogo, you just cope with life.
Okay, thank you. So, it's a problem that it's here. We just
Yeah.
have to embrace it and know how to handle it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Gen Zs have become louder in expressing dissatisfaction online. Do you think it's activism or just noise? Where people are expressing themselves maybe in status, in Twitter. How can you like literally call it? Is it activism or is it noise?
On matters of Gen Z, I'm a Gen Z,
Yeah, right.
and also I'm a certified professional mediator.
Mhm.
What I could say, it's activism in our own. This is the era we are. Technology. Somebody posting to status is expressing his own or her own views. That is activism when you try to look at it in that perspective. So that is activism, but let's do it in a correct manner. Yeah, at some point it's being infiltrated to be like it's a noise or anything, but the moment we speak one voice, then that is what we call activism.
So to the people maybe who feel discouraged because people are really doing their best, trying to work out things. They are calling out some issues. Some people are also calling them out. What can you just tell them? Should they give up? Should they continue as a Gen Z? What's your opinion? What's one thing that you can really tell them? Because I know at times you usually feel to give up. You know, we are human beings.
Yeah,
So you are doing activism, but things are not working out well. So what can you tell the activists who are watching you right now?
I can tell. Let's continue fighting. Honestly, we cannot give up at this era. You see, kwenye tumetoka ni mbali na kwenye tunaelekea ni mbali. So let's keep up the pace. Like, how are you going to keep up that pace? By maybe engaging each other on monthly basis, like trying to come up with things that will put us together. Until then, when the right time will come.
Okay. You said you're a certified.
Professional mediator.
So, like, what's your opinion, or do you think social media is helping or harming the mental strength of its generation, of this generation, Gen Z?
I think no matters of technology,
Mhm.
it has its own pros and cons.
Mm.
And at some point, it depends on the way you argue with it. Sometimes the pros will win and the cons will go down. Sometimes the cons will win. But on the matter of technology, in general basis, this is my own opinion. I believe social media is corrupting us. That at this era, you'll find maybe a Generation Z individual, even a generational alpha. Somebody knows how to operate even a phone, a smartphone. During those days, you could find our parents using those small katululus. So I believe social media, in a good way, it is helping. In another way, again, it's corrupting us.
So, to the people maybe who might say, no, technology is advancing, you're not millennials, because people are like, nowadays, even a young kid can use TikTok and do literally everything. Maybe they might say, technology is really advancing, so we're not like the old people. What can you tell them?
We are advancing. I
Mm.
support that.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's good to embrace technology. I'm doing a course related to technology, science and technology. I'm a scientist by nature, and we try to integrate technology into science. So I believe let's embrace technology and do it in a good perspective, not in a bad perspective. Yeah.
What's your opinion on the current government's approach to unemployment among the youth. There's a lot of unemployment. People are really complaining. There have been a lot of demonstrations. So what's your take or what's your opinion on the current government?
My opinion on the current government is that the government really promised the youth.
Yeah.
We promised job opportunities. So let the government fulfill its own promise. I believe there are very many opportunities outside here, in that they are just infiltrated by cartels. Yeah.
So there are opportunities here, but there's everything out here.
Yeah.
The problem is cartels.
Cartels, yeah, that's the problem.
Cartels. When you say cartels, what are these cartels? Do you like have any idea?
Cartels are there. Like, I can give an example. Maybe you'll find me as YKO. I have, like, let me say, this program I want to bring to you, or to bring to a certain comrade. But because I don't have access to this comrade, there is somebody who will say, I know you and I know this comrade. So I want to act as a bridge between the two of you. And the fact that I want to act as a bridge, meaning that I'll have to take something small from you and even something small from the other end. So that's what we call cartelism.
So on that cartelism, is there space for youth to enter national politics without being used by older politicians?
I believe everybody has his own mentor.
So
for me to enter into national politics, there is somebody maybe I'm looking up to. I'll have to go to this person. Maybe we can go ground to ground check. And like, it's a mentorship, like something like mentorship. But the virtue of me buying his own idea, that's where the problem comes in. I can buy your own idea, but I cannot take whatever you're telling me to implement and implement it. Yeah.
Okay, you know, there are young aspiring politicians you've encountered with.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not sure, are we being used? Are these people genuine? Because politics is a very dirty game, as they say.
Yeah.
So what's like the one thing that you can tell them when somebody does this? Just how can you just advise them? Because they're not sure, are we being used or is this person genuine? Because the people do have mentors,
Yeah.
but at times even mentors can go against your back, right?
Yeah.
So what is the one thing that people need to understand or to know so they cannot be able to be used by these politicians?
Self-realization. Know what you want, know what the people want, and know what to do for the people. Then that will keep you in the right track.
You know, at times maybe if that person is using you, the mentors you've said, you might maybe start saying, no, you're not agreeing with this, I cannot agree with this. So like you might disown you at times because maybe if you're not in a common ground, you might have some quarrels here and there. So should the people leave their mentors or just continue, just vibe with whatever he's saying so that you can be able to have a maybe political mileage? Because without some people without mentors, it's going to be really hard for you, right?
Yeah.
So what can you tell them? Because maybe you might put some ideas in the table. They are very genuine ideas, very real ideas, and they can make a huge impact. But maybe at times your mentor might not like them. So what can you tell them? Should they just ride along with them or just go by yourself?
You know, there is a quote that says, you cannot sail in a sinking ship.
Yes.
So the moment you realize something is not good, it's either you exit or stay. And if you stay, meaning you're part of it. So if you feel like you're very genuine and maybe the person I'm looking up to is not doing the right thing, I need to change, look for another person. Yeah, that's all about in politics.
Oh, okay. There's a growing number of young people engaging in side hustles here and there. So is this by choice or by survival?
Everything is just by choice, and it also depends on what circumstances put you there. Maybe it all depends again on the kind of side hustle. Some people will look maybe in a certain, maybe me as an individual, I'm a student. I said I'm a student and a certified professional mediator. At this point, mediation is my side hustle. When given an opportunity like this, I will speak, really encourage people like, I want you to be like me, I want you to do mediation and everything. Then let's be honest again, even if I'm here, I'm taken to a maybe onto maybe a site, construction site. Let me just again be clear. Encourage people. It's not necessary for you to be like me in a construction site, like the same role I'm doing, but you can do something better. So like, it's all about encouraging each other in terms of side hustle. Let's support each other, keep each other going. Yeah.
So it's not. So is it really by choice or they just found themselves there because We also agreed in one thing that there's really high rate of unemployment among the youth. So is it by choice or they just want to survive?
At some point, it's by choice, and
Mhm,
at some point, because of the high cost of living, it's
mhm.
by survival.
Or so it's
It's like a 50-50 scenario. You see, I can choose
mhm.
maybe to do a certain thing that can give me money. I can choose again because I don't have that money. I can choose maybe let me engage in something to get money. You see, it's like 50-50 scenario.
And also you're a secretary general, right?
Yeah,
Multimedia is a school. Mostly people know it about media, right? So, but not only media. It's a
yeah,
very
yeah.
diverse. It has a lot of opportunities for young learners from high school, so they can really gain a lot in by joining multimedia. But there's a trend of students dropping out to chase content creation or digital money. Do you think this is brave or reckless? Nowadays, just he just drops out and he's like, I'll just stick to on TikTok. I'll stick maybe on Instagram
Mm.
to content creation.
You see, once you've enrolled in an institution,
Yes.
like it all depends on what you want to do. What do you want, like as an individual? Me personally, maybe content creation is not my thing, but there is somebody somewhere who does it best. I'll just advise, don't leave whatever brought you to that before you explore that content creation. It's education that brought you in multimedia. So stick on to education as you're trying to push for content creation. Don't leave it until you like it's over, until you finish and graduate, then you just fully focus on content creation.
Is it easy for you to balance politics with education, or
Very much easy.
it's very much easy?
Yeah.
So it's also very easy for somebody to balance content creation and also education because they might say it's really hard balancing because maybe at times you needed to appear somewhere, do some things, and also you needed to be at school during
Yeah.
class hours. So you believe they can really juggle content creation and also school time?
Yeah, because we are in this is a university, a universal place.
Yes.
I can choose like I want to come to class today. If my schedule is so tight, I'll just have to adjust to my schedule and then come to class later. So nobody will cane you because of not attending to class. It's a universal place.
So what can you call it? Content creation in campus for people dropping out? Is it brave or reckless? Just choose one. Like you can't be really.
At this point, at
Mhm.
some point, it's kind of reckless. It's not brave.
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of reckless.
So YK,
Yes,
uh, do you think the government understands the youth?
the government doesn't understand the youth. I'll be just open about that. Yeah.
When you say it doesn't understand the youth, in terms of like,
You see, we are in two different generations.
yes,
There is this generation Z, Gen Z, who we are the Gen Z, and then there is that millennials. 99.9% of the government is formed by millennials at this rate. And personally, I believe there is this intergenerational conflict, of which the millennials still feel that we are kids and we feel that we are young adults. So it's all about for the government to accept that you are adults and let it guide us.
so the
Uh,
government is like in denial.
yeah, still the government is in denial that you are grown up people. Yeah.
So what's one thing that they can do or maybe try to work on, and we can be able to be in a common ground?
For us and the government to be in a common ground, not the government per se, but the millennials. Let me
Yeah.
put in that perspective. Like the moment they will accept we're the young adults, they guide us. Let them accept first. When they accept, they'll guide us. Like we want to guide you as young adults on how to handle things. Then I believe everything will be sorted.
Oh, so that's the solution.
Yeah.
Okay, on the closing remarks question, there's like 5 questions. So, what's the final message do you have for MMU students?
For MMU students, my final message is that let's just step up as students, as individuals, as comrades. That as the Secretary General, my duty is just to revive the spirit of comradeship. And that's what I want to do it best this year in my tenure as the Secretary General. We want to revive the spirit of comradeship in that when somebody speaks, it's not somebody's voice but a general voice of all us as comrades. It's an idea from all of us. So let's all work together, come together, talk to each other, know the well being of one another, your fellow comrade, and a friend. so that we can work together to revive the spirit of comradeship.
Very, very wise. Any advice for young leaders or aspiring mediators? You said you're a certified mediator.
Yeah.
So any advice for the young leaders and also the aspiring mediators who want also to, they're looking up to you and wanasema you want to be like YK, you know?
For young leaders, I'm a young leader too. Still growing myself, and a mediator, still growing myself. I'll just advise them, as Martin Luther King says, that a genuine leader is not a molder of consensus, but a searcher of consensus. So we as the young leaders, let's find solution, bring in solutions. Also, Nelson Mandela tells us that there is no passion in found to be playing small. So let's not underestimate ourselves. Let's step up as young leaders and do whatever your best. Everybody is a leader. It all depends on how you're going to position yourself.
So everybody should believe in him or herself.
Yeah.
How do you want to be remembered after your term in Multimedia University as the SG?
As
SG is a
the-
very big position. It's
Yeah.
not very easy.
Personally, I believe for somebody to remember you, you must have done something positive in his or her own life. Mine is just to wish for the best, that to achieve whatever I promised to comrades, which I believe is the best thing comrades need. I can be remembered with that.
So on the remembrance also, what legacy do you hope to leave behind? What's that one legacy that you'll be happy to leave behind as an individual, as Yassin, also as a certified mediator? Like, what's one thing that legacy you will be happy to leave behind?
My biggest legacy, I believe it will be reviving the spirit of comradeship. It's not easy, but
That's as a politician or as Yassin himself?
as Yassin,
Mm-hmm,
as the person who in the position I am,
mm-hmm,
Yassin, the Secretary General and the politician,
mm-hmm,
it encapsulates everything. Like,
mm-hmm.
just revive the spirit of comradeship. Maybe I can give a short story.
Yeah, very sure.
I came in this institution in 2022. My Secretary General back then was a great man called Governor Job Mongan. Such a good man. We found the institution like it was very lively. We have a place called the Jobless Corner where we used to meet, engage with each other. That only was solving the reviving. It was not part of reviving the spirit of comradeship, but also part of even mental health checkups. It really helped us, like as young growing kids. We were mentored by those people in a good perspective. So for me, again, I want to bring something like that, reviving that spirit of comradeship, where comrades can express their own views freely without feeling coerced, maybe by the administration or any other external force. Yeah.
So you're friends with Jobu?
Yeah, we are friends.
So I believe he'll be watching this. So what's one lesson your leadership journey has taught you?
My leadership journey.
Yeah, has taught you. What? Just one lesson, maybe you can say.
One lesson is just that know when to employ sympathy and empathy, because you are in different we are interacting with different kinds of personnel. Yeah.
And so, what's next for you after your term ends? What's next? What should people are asking? What is YK after campus?
After campus, something is cooking.
Mhm.
We're yet to reveal the big elephant in the room, but something good is cooking. I believe it will be best for me here and even for the comrades within Multimedia. Yeah.
So there's something big coming.
There is something big coming.
In years, months.
I believe towards the end of my tenure, I'll just reveal it.
And to your supporters also, you want to tell them you'll remember them when that time comes. Because, politicians,
You see,
once they are greener pastures.
I believe it's all about keeping track with each other. Like my friends, I do often check up on them, like on a regular basis, weekly. We do meet in hotel, talk, like speak ourselves, like how do we relate with each other. Even you'll find they have the greener pastures more than myself. So I don't believe that I'm the one who's going to change. Maybe they change.
Because people usually say, things went good for him, now we are no longer there. People start calling you unanswered calls, but you are telling them that you'll be there for them.
I'll be there. My number is just the same number.
You won't change it.
You had it when I was young. Like nikiwa chini ulikuwa nayo, it's the same number. Nikiwa juu pia Piga hiyo namba.
Yeah, I had,
Yeah.
yeah, they are very similar words to a very popular musician, Toxic. I had saying
Yeah.
something like that.
Eh,
So you also listen to music,
I do listen to music.
People maybe I used to Yassin to maybe just serious guy wearing suits. So you're also lively out here. Listen to who's your favorite musician?
My favorite musician at this position in Kenya, at this rate, I believe, I do listen to all kind of genres, but
Mm-hmm.
Bien is my favorite musician.
So Bien is your everyday. Oh, your favorite song of Bien?
All my enemies are suffering.
That's your favorite song.
It's everybody's favorite actually. Like, yeah,
It was released like some 8 weeks ago.
uh,
That's your favorite
yeah.
song.
It's actually it has come to be my favorite song. Like when you listen to that song,
Uh-huh.
it has a powerful message.
So it's the message in it.
Yeah,
All my enemies are suffering.
yeah. They should suffer actually. Why should you be my enemy? Honestly,
Maybe they might say they're your enemy because maybe you're not agreeing on one or two certain things. Maybe not that they're wanasema ni adui, but you want to say
you
your
see,
enemies. Can you address your enemies today as YK?
I believe I don't have any enemies.
Uh-huh.
Like everybody is my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who feels like maybe I overstepped in in any manner, I'm very open to a dialogue where we can come to a resolution.
So that's one thing, because as a politician and in a very usually you command a lot of students. The population is almost 5,000 plus, right?
Yeah, 10,000
Yeah,
actually.
10,000. So you definitely have critics. And also, not that I really asked you about your enemies. So your enemies and critics, can you tell them something like what can you because definitely you have critics, right? You have said it right, yeah. So what can you tell your critics? Oh, maybe they're not okay with what you are doing. They're saying, no, I care this and that. Because yeah, what can you tell them?
Personally, I'd say
Mhm.
criticism is part of life. Like it all depends on how I'm going to accept it. As an individual, I'll always take any criticism as a constructive criticism. The moment you tell me like whatever you did, maybe it's not okay. At least you've helped me go back to drawing board, view that whatever I did, look at that in a good perspective and try to rectify it in a good way.
So the last question: any advice to students who want to get into leadership and also who look up to you? Any advice you could give them?
My advice, honestly, leadership, it's all about commitment. It's not an easy thing. Many people will say leadership is a calling or anything else, but I believe here in campus, leadership is not like an easy thing. Trying to balance between students and the administration. That's why you'll find, like I told you, I really had to enroll a course in mediation because at this point you're trying to balance the administration and the students' needs. So I'm the neutral person here.
So you're doing a course in mediation and also in
Mathematics and computer science.
mathematics and computer science.
Yeah.
Are you able to juggle them?
Yeah, my course I enrolled it this during this long holiday. So it's a certification. It's not something that is going for a year, just 8 months. I've done a bit. Like I'm in my completion. Yeah.
Have you started practicing it?
Yeah. We have gone to open forums, mentorship programs. We've done them.
So to anyone doing leadership, that's what you can tell them right here now. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing. It's just about for you to plan yourself, know what your constituent wants, know what the administration wants. Try to balance them.
Oh, thank you so much, Yassin. That was our interview with Telvin Nyaga from Audrey Media TV.
Thank you for hosting me. I'm very happy.
Welcome.